oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless.
As an actor, you play characters, and then if you go deep enough into those characters, you realize that your own character is pretty thin to begin with, you know? And then you suddenly have this separation and go, well, who's Jim Carrey? Oh, he doesn't exist, actually.
Celebrating icons inside.
Celebrating icons. Boy, that is just the absolute lowest aiming, possibility that we could come up with. It's like icons. What this is. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, the all-mocking tongue.
Dave Chappelle just brought back one of Hollywood's wildest conversations, and now Jim Carrey's name is right in the center of it again. People online are saying Jim stopped going along with certain powerful Hollywood circles, and after that, everything about him seemed different. His vibe changed, his interviews got way more intense, and even fans started saying he looked completely off compared to the old Jim everybody remembered. Now social media keeps asking the same uncomfortable question. What really happens when celebrities stop playing the industry game? What makes the whole Jim Carrey situation feel so strange is that nobody ever expected him to be tied to rumors like this.
That is not Jim Carrey. It's not him. It is so blaringly obvious. I, like everyone, has seen the Selena Gomez theory. I'd heard about cloning, I'd heard about all that stuff, and was always like, that's not Jim Carrey. As my favorite actor and comedian of all time, I know that man. I have seen all of his interviews, him in all of his roles, know his mannerisms. That is not him.
We're talking about one of the biggest comedy icons Hollywood ever created. The guy was known for nonstop energy, crazy facial expressions, loud humor, and a personality nobody could copy no matter how hard they tried. But according to people close to the industry, something shifted behind the scenes over the years. Dave Chappelle even started dropping hints that whatever happened to Jim didn't seem normal at all, and that's when the internet really started paying attention.
Yes, and Jim Carrey was so immersed in that role that from the moment he woke up to the time he went to bed at night, he would live his life as Andy Kaufman. So much so that everybody on the crew called him Andy. I didn't know any of that. And when he walked into the room where we were supposed to meet, I screamed, "Jim Carrey!" And everyone said, "No, call him Andy." I was very disappointed. I wanted to meet Jim Carrey, and I had to pretend this nigga was Andy Kaufman. That's how trans people make me feel.
But this story didn't just appear overnight. For years, Jim Carrey had already been making Hollywood uncomfortable with the way he talked about fame and celebrity culture. He openly questioned the entire system and said the industry felt fake and empty to him. At first, people brushed it off and thought he was just being deep or philosophical. But then, the interviews became harder to ignore. Jim started talking about illusions, identity, control, and how Hollywood creates fake versions of people for the public to consume. That's when online theories exploded, with many people believing pressure started building around him the more outspoken he became.
Look at him trying to get on that. It's hilarious. Hilarious.
You know what they're trying to do?
Who?
They're trying to turn us into, consumer drones of some sort.
I just got to get this. For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to distract you, to make you laugh, and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on.
Now, this is where Dave Chappelle really enters the picture, because Dave has been warning people for years that Hollywood can seriously change celebrities once they stop following the industry rules. He never fully spells everything out directly, but he always leaves little clues behind. Stories about pressure, stars losing themselves, and famous people getting pushed aside after refusing certain expectations behind closed doors. That's why so many people started connecting his comments back to Jim Carrey. According to people online, fans believe Jim became one of the biggest examples of that situation, especially after his strange appearance at the 2026 César Awards. The internet reacted instantly. A lot of viewers kept saying the man standing there didn't feel like the same Jim Carrey they grew up watching for decades. Maybe the face looked familiar, but fans said the energy felt completely different. People pointed out the voice sounded off, the movement seemed slower, and the personality didn't hit the same way anymore. Even longtime supporters started posting side-by-side clips online, claiming something felt strange about the whole appearance. Once those videos started spreading everywhere, the clone theories and conspiracy talk exploded across social media again. Now, to be fair, there's absolutely no confirmed proof that Jim Carrey was literally cloned, but online conspiracy theories usually don't run on proof anyway. They run on patterns, rumors, and people connecting dots on social media.
Who am I? And they're depressed, a lot of people, because they're trying to hold up an image in the world. And that's what depression is. People go like, oh, Jim's been depressed and stuff. Well, yeah, I was depressed when I was trying to be the Wizard of Oz instead of the sweaty guy behind the curtain. But now I know that Oz is a character.
According to certain internet circles, the situation around Jim started looking way too familiar to them because fans began comparing his story to celebrities like Kanye West, Gucci Mane, and Britney Spears. Different stars, but supposedly the same kind of storyline. Speak out, disappear for a while, then return acting completely different. That's the narrative people online keep repeating, and many claim the Jim Carrey situation fits right into that pattern. Before all the clone theories blew up, Jim had already been openly criticizing Hollywood for years. He talked about fame feeling empty and meaningless, and he even mocked celebrity culture during public events and interviews. A lot of people still bring up that viral red carpet moment where Jim said none of it had any real meaning. That clip keeps getting reposted online like some kind of warning sign. According to the theories spreading across social media, powerful entertainment circles don't like it when major celebrities publicly question the image Hollywood tries to sell, especially when those celebrities have huge influence and loyal fans listening to every word. Now, this is where the story starts getting even darker because Dave Chappelle actually walked away from Hollywood at the peak of his success. We're talking about millions of dollars on the table, one of the biggest shows on television, and then suddenly he disappeared. Back then, a lot of people called him crazy or said he lost his mind. But years later, Dave started opening up about the pressure behind the scenes. He spoke about feeling trapped, losing control over himself, and sensing that the industry wanted something from him that he refused to give. Those comments alone made people start looking at Hollywood very differently. That's why so many online theories connect Dave's story to Jim Carrey. According to internet speculation, Jim supposedly stopped showing up around certain powerful Hollywood circles and exclusive industry gatherings that influential people expected celebrities to attend. None of that has ever been confirmed as fact, but once people tied that narrative to Jim's unusual public appearances afterward, the conspiracy talk exploded everywhere online, and fans say Jim isn't the only celebrity people compare to this kind of story. A lot of conspiracy channels also bring up Kanye West, especially after that viral moment where Kanye warned people, if I disappear and come back, that won't be me.
They wanted to medicate me every day. You realize, they could have just switched to medication and I wouldn't be here. And on the news, they would have said it was because of a mental issue.
That single quote sent social media into complete chaos. Then Kanye disappeared from public view for weeks with barely any updates or appearances. When he returned, some fans online claimed he seemed calmer, quieter, and way more controlled than before. That instantly pushed people to revisit everything Kanye had said in past interviews about handlers, medication, pressure, and the people surrounding celebrities behind closed doors.
Hey? Well, we haven't seen him really since all the anti-Semitic rants and all those interviews he was doing.
He's been
hanging around with Nick Fuentes.
Disappeared for a couple of weeks.
Really laid low. Well, he resurfaced in Beverly Hills. He was not solo though. With a woman, a blonde woman.
A huge part of these online theories exploded around the Harley Pasternak situation. Kanye publicly shared text messages that allegedly showed Harley, warning him about being institutionalized again if he didn't cooperate. Those screenshots spread across social media fast, and once people started looking into Harley's background and saw reports connecting him to military-funded research tied to psychology and behavior studies, conspiracy channels went completely wild with speculation. Then people started placing that next to Jim Carrey's situation. Here's a celebrity openly criticizing Hollywood, talking about illusions, fake identities, and how fame changes people, and then fans online suddenly claim he started acting different in public appearances. That combination made internet detectives start connecting dots almost instantly, even without solid evidence behind the theories. And somehow Gucci Mane's name got pulled into the conversation too. Fans still remember how dramatically different Gucci looked after prison. Before prison, people saw him as heavier, reckless, and constantly caught up in public drama. But after prison, Gucci came back slimmer, more focused, calmer, and speaking in a completely different way.
that parading around out here, that ain't the real Gucci, man. So it's some weird going on out here. Like, I don't know if the clones, I don't put it past, like, nobody. I'm sure they got the technology to do that. But that's not the real Gucci.
That transformation shocked a lot of people online. Almost immediately, conspiracy pages started pushing theories that the Gucci who returned wasn't the same Gucci from before. Then things got even louder when Gucci's ex, Mac Breezy, publicly said the Gucci she saw after prison didn't feel like the same person she remembered. The internet instantly grabbed onto that comment and turned it into another massive replacement theory that spread everywhere online. One fan even bluntly posted online, "Gucci Mane fat and he never went to the gym." That comment alone went viral as people kept analyzing every little change. Others focused more on what they believed was a repeating pattern. In these theories, a celebrity becomes rebellious, starts speaking too openly, suddenly disappears from the spotlight, then returns looking transformed. According to online rumors, people believe Dave Chappelle has hinted that Hollywood knows how to reset celebrities who stop cooperating. Not in some literal sci-fi cloning way, but through heavy image control, psychological pressure, isolation, medication rumors, and rebuilding a celebrity's public identity from the ground up. And honestly, Jim Carrey's public behavior over the years only made those theories grow louder online. One moment, he was openly exposing what he saw as the emptiness of celebrity culture, and the next, he appeared quieter, calmer, and less rebellious than before. Then came the more recent public appearances where fans started zooming in on every detail. People online claimed his eyes looked different, his smile felt forced, and his overall energy seemed disconnected compared to the Jim Carrey they remembered from years earlier.
That's not him. Look at his mannerisms in that video. Look at his face. His face is different. The same man who said awards are meaningless, that those people are evil, that all of it's meaningless. I don't know where Jim Carrey is. I'm gonna be praying for him, for his safety, because that man, that is not Jim Carrey. Like, it's becoming real to me. Something's happening.
And once the internet grabs onto a theory like this, it almost never lets it go, especially when side-by-side clips start flooding social media. People began comparing old Jim Carrey to newer appearances, then doing the same thing with Kanye West and Gucci Mane. Old clips, new clips, different interviews, different energy. Fans online kept breaking down every tiny detail like detectives, searching for hidden clues. But here's where the conversation gets even crazier. A lot of people pushing these theories don't even believe celebrities are literally being cloned in secret laboratories. Instead, they think the whole clone idea is symbolic. According to those online discussions, the belief is that a celebrity's original personality gets slowly broken down and replaced with a safer, more controlled public version that's easier for the industry to manage, market, and predict. And honestly, that idea freaks people out even more because it stops sounding like science fiction and starts sounding like power, pressure, and Hollywood politics behind the scenes. That's one reason Dave Chappelle's old warnings keep resurfacing online every few years. Many fans see Dave as somebody who stepped away before the system could fully shape him. The internet community has been going crazy revisiting old clips, too. One person commented, "This is the real Jim Carrey." Then they replaced him. Another wrote, "This is not the same Jim Carrey we saw today." According to these online theories, celebrities who walk away from powerful systems usually return one of two ways: completely silent or noticeably different. And Jim Carrey's fans keep pointing to one thing that makes the whole situation feel even stranger: the drastic shift in how he talks during interviews now compared to years ago. Back in the day, Jim was loud, explosive, unpredictable, always bouncing off the walls with energy. Even serious interviews felt chaotic in the best way possible. But in more recent appearances, fans online say he seems distant, slower, almost like he's carrying a completely different mindset. That contrast alone has kept conspiracy pages running nonstop. Then people started revisiting some of Jim's older comments about Hollywood and fame, and suddenly those clips began sounding way darker to internet audiences. In one interview, Jim talked about people wearing masks and playing characters in real life. In another, he questioned whether celebrity culture was built on fake identities and public illusions. At the time, many people thought he was just being artistic or philosophical. But now conspiracy communities treat those moments like hidden warnings hiding in plain sight. And Dave Chappelle's name keeps getting attached to these conversations because Dave has repeatedly talked about the pressure celebrities face once they stop fitting the image the industry wants. Fans online believe both Dave and Jim reached a point where they saw behind the curtain and became uncomfortable with how Hollywood operates behind closed doors. That's why every new Jim Carrey appearance instantly sparks another wave of theories online, with people analyzing his expressions, voice, body language, and interviews like they're searching for evidence hidden right in front of them. Now, the biggest question people keep asking is what really happens behind closed doors in Hollywood once a celebrity stops cooperating with the system. How much influence do powerful industry figures actually have over the lives and careers of famous people? And how many stars came back looking or acting different simply because they were pressured to become a version the industry preferred instead? Maybe Jim Carrey just changed naturally with age and life experience. Maybe Kanye West became calmer after years of public chaos and nonstop pressure. Maybe Gucci Mane truly transformed himself after prison and focused on becoming healthier and more disciplined. Or maybe the entertainment world quietly reshapes celebrities once they stop following certain expectations behind the scenes. That possibility alone is why these conversations keep spreading across the internet so fast. Because the more people compare clips, interviews, and behavior changes, the more questions they start asking. At the end of the day, nobody outside those circles truly knows what goes on behind closed doors in Hollywood. But one thing is clear. People are paying attention now more than ever, and these theories are not slowing down anytime soon. So now, the spotlight turns to you. What do you think really happened to Jim Carrey? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more deep dives, and share this with somebody who needs to hear this conversation.